Now to the war in Ukraine, intelligence officials expect Russia to increase the pace and the strength of its attacks on major cities, especially the capital of Kyiv. The U.S. and its allies are now considering banning Russian oil and natural gas imports in response to the invasion. Tomorrow, Ukraine and Russia are expected to hold a third round of peace talks. This comes as the United Nations says the refugee crisis is hitting levels not seen since World War II. At least 1.5 million people have fled Ukraine since the invasion began less than 2 weeks ago. Back here in our area, volunteers are organizing rallies, fundraisers, and donation drives for Ukraine. Many are calling for the U.S. to do even more to put the pressure on Russia. Today, NBC 10's Karen Hua spoke to a local national security expert about how much more America could squeeze Vladimir Putin.
I say stop. You say Putin, stop. Putin, stop. Putin. I say stop. You say war. Stop. War.
It's almost every day now we see rallies for Ukraine. And these efforts won't stop until Russia's invasion stops. This morning, buses headed from Jenkintown to another rally in D.C.
And we wanted to have something in Philadelphia so that people who can't go to Washington have a way to participate.
The Biden administration has already offered $54 million in aid, imposed economic sanctions, blocked Russian aircraft from U.S. skies. But among these ralliers today, there was a common demand for something that has not yet been done.
The Ukrainians have been begging for a no-fly zone ever since the beginning to stop the indiscriminate bombing of the civilian population.
But Jack Tamarchio, a former senior Homeland Security official based in Wayne, says a no-fly zone could have serious consequences.
Right now, that's not on the table because that would be considered a direct NATO-Russia conflict, and that could get out of hand. And because Mr. Putin has nuclear weapons.
If the concern is, oh, that's going to start, World War III, I don't think it will. But even if that's a concern, give them planes so they can defend their own sky.
While people ask Biden to do more, Tamarchio says there's a good chance the U.S. already has undercover military assistance in Ukraine.
We don't want to see a war between NATO and Russia. At the same time, we don't want to see the Ukrainian people slaughtered.
So people may have different opinions on what the U.S. should be doing further, but they all have a common mission for Ukrainian peace. In Center City, Karen Hua, NBC 10 News.